Welcome to the Living Connected podcast. I'm your host, Mallory Meyer. I'm a multi-six-figure online entrepreneur, founder of White Wolf Reiki, and creator of the Frequency Business Mastery School. I weave together the metaphysical with the science of the subconscious mind and timeless business principles to help you take your passion for serving and empowering others full time. I'm not just here to teach you how to build a profitable and aligned business, but to invite in more authenticity, awareness, clarity, and certainty in what, who, and how you serve. In return, to generate more sales as you cultivate greater confidence and wealth through deeper self-sovereignty and advocacy, inviting in a trauma-sensitive approach to protocols and processes in our marketing and selling as we honor each client's humanity in the process of living more connected. This podcast is here to connect you further to your self-mastery for business, your lifestyle, and of course, your mindset. Join me on my mission to uplift and elevate the collective to love and light. Hello. My goodness. Let's just address the elephant in the room. I did take a period of time away, and quite honestly, reflecting back, it just brings such a smile and joy to my face in the synchronicities of which we create things which may not even be present to our dimensional selves in what the meaning of it truly looks like. And what I simply mean by this is with living connected. Yes, I chose that name because there was so much connectedness for myself in my environment and situational experiences and really finding and coming within. But over the past couple months, what has actually been unfolding behind the scenes and sharing this for some to hear for the very first time is really being immersed and integrating a lot from the trauma-informed coaching container that I was in, at least within 2022, that integrative leadership and allowing it just to bring forward for me how I truly desired to take my business forward, while also investing in a further area around the nervous system. And so at the end of this month, really becoming polyvagal informed. And what that truly means is this connectedness to ourselves, our physiology, and our ability to recognize our responses and come into regulation. Because at the end of the day, being regulated is not a place of comfort for us. We are actually more comfortable in dysregulation. It's kind of our status quo. And when it comes to a lot of my marketing has also been shifting to really support individuals, not necessarily spiritual entrepreneurs starting a business, but taking it forward and really acknowledging the success that I have created over the last 2 years, while also seeing the highest level of success within the clients of where they have already had wins and celebrations in their business, but they maybe have felt a level of complacency, of feeling stuck, of this unknown, of this ceiling that's been created that's been withholding them for that next level. And so this is really where it's stepping into helping coaches who are stuck between making under 3 to even 5K monthly income, go beyond that and really start to create sustainable income through, it can look like 10K plus beyond months. But this starts with our state in how we are healing and working around our regulation and our nervous system, which I will be bringing forward so many different flavors and episodes and how we can start to address some of that awareness, along with sharing with you a brand new offer that I have to help to support you in already starting to heal. Because at the end of the day, with the coaches that I have been working with, when we really address your own capacity, this is really optimize your ability to receive and create maintainable, sustainable income, and not just optimize the ability in the receivership of the wealth that you're holding, but really optimize your relationships with clients and how you can look at this even in leveraging a stronger model within your business in how you are serving your clients, how you're showing up for your clients. We so often hear around, are you listening to what your client has to say to even address the appropriate question? And at the baseline of that, even below the listening, it's, do you have the ability to observe their own physiology to be able to then address the right question? And so often our nervous systems, it's not even so often, I'll rephrase, our nervous systems mirror one another. And self-regulation comes from co-regulation. Self-regulation for your clients is such a vital part in their ability to learn to activate the prefrontal cortex, to really be able to witness and start to make some changes and shifts, to have a foundation where you have a soil of safety created where they can be challenged, and to also be okay to fail. And I say that in air quotes because ultimately we know there's no such thing as failure. It's really this opportunity to have the vulnerability come forward to be able to express and to be able to learn and grow from. So without even knowing it here, this is really where living connected has had such a beautiful segue in how I'm going to choose to continue to show up to bring forward episodes. But we're really going to actually dive into the connectedness to ourselves. Because again, if I'm thinking about, it's almost like Maslow's hierarchy of needs. We have safety that comes at the bottom there in this pyramid. And when it looks in the lens of being a coach, being in business, there's so many things and tasks that we focus on that we forget this element of the human side. And so I've heard, and it's just been so pronounced in the industry of mindset, and then you tap on strategy on top of mindset, but there's been a missing link. And it really comes back into below the mindset is our nervous system. And a simple example to even share with you, just to, if you're new and it's just recognizing, okay, well, what does my nervous system really have to do? What are some of the actual ways of which this could be manifesting out into my reality right now based on my own state? I'm going to give you two actually specific examples here, because one so often being on this course of being a coach, being an entrepreneur, it is a landscape of taking risks. You are essentially called forward to take risks each and every day sometimes. And one of the very first risks that can appear in your reality is, obviously, there's so much value when you invest in yourself to take you forward to what it is that you are desiring. I have no doubt that you can get there on your own, but do you really want to wait that long? Do you really want to struggle? Do you really want to have to second guess? And how much value comes forward, not only in preparing and developing your own skills, but also preparing and developing your own physiology, getting a deep understanding of your body with the work specifically that we would do together. And to come back to this investment, this risk, because of the way that our nervous system interprets investing, it can be perceived, depending on an individual's threshold, as a loss. So, for instance, someone may never have even invested in themselves more than $1,000 ever. And that will just cue, again, this is a perceived lens of unsafety, that this gets to feel essentially unsafe, and there's a loss, there's a threat to you in spending $1,000. That can look, again, on the spectrum in so many different ways for each individual. It could go like you've never invested 10K before. And we're just constantly building up our own resiliency in these behaviors, as it's not just in taking the action itself, but it's being able to, what takes place is you go into a fight or flight where there might be some anger, aggressiveness, mobilization of just the frenetic type of energy, even of feeling like a lack of control. And then spiraling, and through this, if you aren't able to start to notice and bring awareness and shift to start to feel more calm, it can very quickly go into dorsal, which is the shutdown. And obviously, after you have made an investment, this is not a place of immobilization to where you want to be. You want to be taking action. You want to feel calm and safe within yourself to start to take execution and be present, and also have engagement to learn through this investment. And another example, and there's going to be so many examples that I weave into episodes as well, of even within the relationship with clients, but I do just want to stay focused on the money example today. And that can look in the form of how much wealth you're creating in your business. And specifically, this is just for even with myself. Last year, I believe it was in March or April, I had a 25K month. And immediately, my thoughts and the state in the story that was presented was, you've made it to the goal that I was reaching, but how are you going to replicate this? And for 3 months, even maybe it was a little bit more following that, as much as I was still creating 17K, 20-ish K months, I was riddled with a thought that was really making me feel very spiraled, of putting me so far out in the future that I couldn't enjoy my present. And I was feeling a loss of power. I was feeling a loss of the control. And I was even coming into spots of, well, I need to go back to corporate, like the safety that I can feel within corporate, because I hadn't created a felt sense of safety for myself at that 25K. As much as I was saying, I'm ready for this, I want to call this in, and it felt very tangible to create when I looked at how my business was also priced, the offerings that I held, but then at the same time, when it came to repeatable, it was a word that kept me very frozen. And so just doing the work and with the tools and the support that I was receiving at that point last year, it really helped to really start to notice and acknowledge, witness, to be able to now create it and create even more without necessarily falling into, just, we'll call it a trap in a sense of, we've never again, from the conditions of other parts of realities that we may have been living out within corporate, had never had a felt sense of, how do I manage this much money? What do I do with this? And when we really start to map out different areas of what we do with it, it also allows us to have a felt sense of calm. And so through this entire journey in itself, one of the biggest things in how I started this year was really looking to hold space in individuals' becomings. So like I mentioned at the start of this episode, there's a lot of different aspects unfolding behind the scenes. And one of the newer offers is a beginning step in coaches who are becoming. And what I just mean by becoming is how you are becoming a self-led, confident coach that also honors individuals' humanity, because of, again, and there's no judgment, and there's no, I don't say this with judgment, and I don't say this with any sort of regret, but from the coaching containers that I have been immersed in, there was a level to which it was, take this kind of quote unquote cookie cutter approach and just do this. And it doesn't matter, like, there was no level to which I was really receiving the mindset, my own energetics, looking at blind spots that I wasn't able to see to have it mirrored back to me. And it was just like, it's not working because you're not approaching it this way. Do this. And as much as I would engage with doing this, it wasn't honoring who I am. And as you've heard in another episode just around human design, really feeling that connectedness into my own spleen, into my own vehicle of being a projector. So it's really just to acknowledge here that this work of who you are becoming, and especially in being a coach, invites in perpetual nuance, dualities, like these uncertainty, and even how you're asked to show up and hold space for others is extended. And I'm sure as many of you are listening to this, you know this too, of in your own experiences already being a coach, what you've had to encounter have been conversations like you've never been asked to lead or facilitate or witness for someone, even what they're bringing forward into that space. And this is where it really comes into being okay to stop people and address the thought that they are holding, to stop them, to say, I just want you to notice, and I want you to become aware that you have just said this. And so there's so many, again, little aspects that I'm really looking forward to holding space for with clients, in them becoming the coach that they know that they've always wanted to be, with a felt sense of the confidence, the certainty, feeling empowered to approach all the situations, as much as we can map those out as best as possible, that will throw you for a tailspin. When you get those messages, even on Voxer, of I need to talk, or how you want to approach a conversation with a client who you can only control so much. And if they aren't taking control, how you want to also, what's in integrity for you moving forward, breaking contracts. Regardless, I'm really excited for the announcement of this brand new program. So stay tuned. Since obviously this episode now coming forward, we just had a recent launch of the cohort, this repositioning of my offers to be more of a launch model. So the next 3 months, at this point, there is a mini mind unfolding within Frequency Business Mastery to help coaches that are stuck below 3 to 5K go beyond and start to witness 10K plus months, if that is what they are desiring. While that will come back in the summer, there is an opportunity to get on the wait list now and secure your spot for the summer cohort, and you receive a discount for that if you sign up already. That being said, though, too, the announcement of the brand new program and the waitlist to join that will be coming officially next week. And so I'll have the link in the bio here to really support. What I'll just kind of say to this is supporting your nervous system, becoming more deeply connected. And then, of course, just the availability for any coach that is at 10K plus. This is where my one-to-one offering is best aligned for you. And I'm happy to have conversations about this. I invite you to send me a private message. But it's really, again, looking at how to consistently grow, to scale, to hire a team, and really create standard operating procedures and a product suite that gives you a lot of time and space, as much as you are even creating more income and impact in your business. So that being said, I do want to extend one last note of acknowledgement for the individuals that took the time to get hot seat coaching last year. And I have so many recorded episodes that obviously haven't been released from the hot seat coaching sessions with these individuals. I don't want to promise that I will actually have these aired, because one of my biggest challenges was actually just going back and editing, and also just recognizing too again, I mentioned it in one episode before, but the level of disservice it is in just getting one piece of coaching. There's so much that unfolds in a coaching container. And to just have 20 to 30 minutes it really wasn't becoming enough. I might, again, we'll see where the winds take me. But with this brand new intention and with a lot of more integration in the work behind the scenes, these hot seat coaching sessions may just be personally sent to you, so you can always listen back to it. But TBD, sending all my love. Welcome March, and I can't wait to continue forward. I really would love, in now coming back to the podcast, if you take the time, whether it's going back and leaving a comment on a previous episode, on this episode, screenshot it, send it to me on Instagram, and I will send you a special gift. It really just helps in receiving feedback for the viewership of listening, of getting it more into individuals' ears, and really for them to take forward to better enhance and build their business. Okay, we'll talk soon.